What's up, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Gearist TV. Today we're going to be talking about the 360 mini massager from Moji. Now, before you go clicking away and you're like, what is this, the mini massager? What? This is Gearist. Yes, it is Gearist. We talk about gear, but we also talk about getting outside, being active, and we talk about the things that help you recover from those activities. Now, we've talked about a lot of running shoes, and guess what? You get sore when you run a lot, especially if you're doing hills, speed work, or things like that. We like to recover. I like to recover, and the way that I do that typically is with things like a foam roller, with ice baths, with a little bit of heat, with massage, with stretching. And this sucker right here, I'm here to tell you, I've used it so much that I actually broke the back, which I'll talk about in a second. This thing is an amazing little toy. So before you clicking off, think I'm not going to use this, you're going to use this, trust me, and it's cheap. So stay tuned, let's get into it. Now first, let's talk about what the Moji Mini is made from. The first thing is that the platform itself is made from kind of a stiff rubber that's still pretty flexible, but it's pretty tough and rigid and durable. Now, this is an adjustment strap back here, and I apologize, but I take full responsibility for this being broken. It's not broken by any result of the product. It's simply that I used it too much and I pulled on it and all this kind of stuff. But basically, it goes into here and it's meant to adjust to go around your fingers like such, so that you can really get a grip on it and not have to worry about changing it up or how you're going to grip it. Now, additionally, these ridges you see right here, they provide a little bit of grip on the back side of this, as well as providing flexibility. You can see here, this bends pretty much around anything you got. We'll talk about what it's meant to bend around here in a few minutes. Now, the front side of the 3" by 6" platform are 7 stainless steel spheres here that you can see, or balls, whatever you want to say. They're in 3 different sizes. These 5 here in the middle are all the same size. This guy up here toward the top, as you can see, that is the top. That's a little bit larger than these, and then the largest is down here where it's going to be kind of the base of your palm, the butt of your hand there. All the spheres on the Moji Mini are omnidirectional, which means they rotate in any direction. They're essentially balls mounted into these little brackets here that hold those in place. Now, let's talk about this thing really getting into the nitty-gritty of how it works. Now, the 5 spheres here in the center, those are meant to be the general stabilizing spheres and also kind of really get into that high-level muscle where you're not going to really want to necessarily get down deep because you don't need to. But up here at the top, we have this slightly larger sphere I talked about a second ago. This is the target sphere, and the way this is situated is that it's meant, if I put my fingers into my broken Moji Mini, which again, I take responsibility for, you get this in here and it's right under your middle finger or your index finger or what have you, and it can really get in deep. You can really kind of focus exactly where that goes. Oh, that's so good. You can really focus where this is going to go. Now, because this is a little bit larger than these guys, it's going to get in and really be able to break up finer muscle pieces in a more targeted way. These are a little too small to kind of get in there like that, but this, I love using this particularly on my calves a lot. And again, really kind of like IT band area, that's a good spot for that. That's called the targeted sphere. Now, the intensity sphere is this guy back here. This is exactly what it sounds like. It is meant for the full weight of the palm of your hand, the butt of your hand. Oh my God, every time I do it, it's ridiculous. That's meant for the butt of your hand to really, really dig down weight in that. Now, for your thighs, your calves, again, this thing can pretty much do any muscle group you've got. We're going to talk about some challenges that I had at other places, but these 2 spheres, again, the targeting sphere up here top and the intensity sphere, they're meant to do very distinct things and really get into the crevices and gaps in between your muscles and all that stuff to really begin to break down any soreness and scar tissue that's there. In the past, I have certainly used recovery aids like a foam roller or a stick style roller to kind of roll out muscles. The advantage of this, in that it's so small, is that with a stick you have to really, really push very hard. And while, don't get me wrong, I think that's a great recovery tool as well, in this case you don't have to push so much to get really focused, intense breakdown of that muscle, because these balls are so kind of small and they just really get in there. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. So to feel the same amount of pressure in this takes like a third or quarter, an eighth of the effort that something like a stick might have. The one challenge that I did find with this in terms of the muscle group that I really couldn't get into very well was my gluteus maximus. Now, as we know, your butt is this big muscle, but the biggest muscle on your body, if I'm not mistaken. And the problem is that if you've got some junk in the trunk like this guy, it's tricky to really get down deep into that muscle. You can get the gluteus medius and the minimus right kind of at the top there, but really get into the meat and underneath and the maximus there, it's kind of tough. The way that I got around it to some degree was to kind of stretch myself. I did that kind of crossover stretch where I would basically thin out the muscle and could then dig into that a little bit. But this is challenging for that area. Otherwise, all the muscles, I didn't really have a problem. I mean, even into my hamstrings, which are, again, larger, this was getting right down into where I wanted it to get. So really amazing stuff. Another spot that I found this really, really useful and super soothing for is the foot. Now, Moji does make the Moji 360 foot massager, which is a different device altogether. But this thing, if you just lay it on the ground, get your foot right up on there, it's awesome. Even if it's just for a massage and not so much for breaking down things like plantar fasciitis or things like that, it just feels so good. So this doubles as the kind of foot massager piece and is this. I'm not sure Moji would want me to say that, but it does. I used it like that. Also, it's easy to clean. If you're like me, you come in from a ride or a run or something like that, you're sweaty. If you don't choose to shower right away, you're kind of putting some dirt and grime and stuff on this. Super easy to clean, just like an alcohol wipe or even just soap and water or what have you. And actually, all of these come out. Now, the spheres themselves, I don't believe are meant to come out of the brackets, but the brackets pull away from the platform. I'm not going to do it right now because you don't want to watch me have to get them in and out, but essentially they just pull right out. You can kind of see the edge right there. They just pull right out. So if you got any grime, you could just clean it out. You may even be able to toss them in the dishwasher or something. I don't know. A possible drawback of the Moji Mini is that it makes those, hey, will you rub my back requests too easy to fulfill? So you're going to spend like 90% of your time, yes. A couple final points about the Moji Mini is that it's super, super portable, can go pretty much anywhere, carry on luggage, it can actually fit in your race bag, what have you. And the other thing is that it's affordable, so affordable. $29.95, so $30 for this thing. Compare that to other devices that are meant to break down tissue. We're not going to mention any names right here, but $30 for this? Yeah, super, super well worth it. And if you're like me and you use it so much that you break the strap on it, you're only out $30. And by the way, it still works. I have not replaced this, and it still works fine. I haven't done any jury rigging where I have to tape it or anything. It just works fine, just like it is. You kind of overlay a finger, get in there. Oh, see how good that is? You got to check out the Moji 360 mini massager. I'm dead serious. This is an awesome product. Awesome product and a serious candidate for one of our gear of the year pieces. So keep an eye out for that. Our question to you today is, what do you use to recover and basically do some self-massage? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. Please don't forget to like and favorite this video. Also, find us on all the social media outlets. Google+, search for Gearist, youtube.com/thegearist, Instagram @thegearist, Twitter @thegearist, facebook.com/gearist. Find us everywhere. Gearist is advertised. We don't really advertise. Just find us and say hello. If you've got any questions about this review or any of them, you can either leave those in the comment section below here on YouTube, or you can swing on over to gearist.com, take a look at all of our reviews, and feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you don't subscribe already, be sure to, because we've got some pretty awesome promotions coming up. So be sure to subscribe. The more subscribers we have, the more promotions we can do. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.